Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About Show. I'm,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, your host, Dylan Strickland, and today, let's talk about A Quiet Place Part 2. Joining me once again is Kirby Talesky. How are you doing, man?
Okay.
Good to hear it. Back again after a serious hiatus at probably some point in this video. Gabe Anderson hopefully will drop in, maybe not. And once again on the show with us is actor and film fan Tanner Pieper. How are you doing, man?
Haha.
Very
Solid.
good.
Thanks for calling me an actor. I like that.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of how the show is going to go today. We're going to talk about the first Quiet Place and then go straight into A Quiet Place Part 2. If you want to skip to a part in the show, you can do that in the description. I will timestamp them down below, so give that a look if you want to. But let's start off with Kirby. What are your thoughts on the first A Quiet Place, man?
I mean, come on. It's like everybody else's opinion. It's freaking amazing. You don't know what's going on for the first like 3/4 of the film or why it's happening until you get introduced to like the monsters or aliens or whatever they are. We still don't know what they are. But no, it's amazing. Like the acting all the way around, awesome. Emily Blunt was amazing. John Krasinski's amazing. Even the little kids, I can't remember either of their names.
They don't have names. I don't
Okay.
think they say their names.
So actually, I found this out the last time I was watching The Quiet Place recently. That if you watch it with subtitles, sometimes it'll say the name of the character in the film. So at the like halfway through the movie or whatever, I was paying attention to it, and it like John Krasinski said something, and it said Lee right next to it.
Interesting, because
Yeah.
in script they don't really say.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Which
was interesting because, well, we'll talk about this later, but when the second one started and they were like, Lee, go get this thing, I was like,
yeah,
what the? I was bewildered. I was like, Lee?
yeah.
Lee.
But yeah, it's really good all the way around. I mean, there are a few things here or there that's just my own personal opinion.
Doesn't work.
Well, no, it doesn't work. It's just like in my mind, like their characters. All right, so this is a bad thing to say, but that little kid at the beginning deserved what he got. He's that stupid fucking kid.
Wow.
Like with he.
Wow, bad thing to say. That's a horrible thing to say, Kirby.
Literally, both his parents take the thing, set it on the counter, and John Krasinski goes, "No, it's too loud." And then the little girl, I blame the little girl on his death a little bit, a hair, like a fraction on her. But no, like 99.9% of his death is his fault because he grabbed the fucking batteries. Anyway, hot take.
Not a hot take, a very hot take. You said the kid's murder was his fault.
It was. Are you telling me if he did not pick up those batteries, he still would have died?
I don't think that's on him, though. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Tanner, what are your thoughts on the first Quiet Place movie?
I really liked it. I rewatched it for the first time today since I watched it a long time ago, and I think I watched it
Probably
originally in
2018. You probably
theaters.
saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I think I saw it in theaters, and it was good. I noticed more stuff this time around. I guess maybe I was just paying attention for the show. I just noticed more like character building than I thought there was. Maybe it's just because I watched it a second time, but I really liked all this stuff. Like when you watch the beginning really closely, they're setting up like the entire movie, and then it just kind of plays out. And I like that it's not like super intricate or super hard to follow, and it's short.
I mean, they do. It's crazy. I think what the first movie excels at is showing and not telling. Like none of the alien backstory is explained through dialogue.
No.
Yeah.
Like the camera just pans over newspapers. You just pick that up, and then it shows you what happens when you do make noise, like by the kid dying in the beginning,
which he deserved.
It's genuinely brilliant. It feels like a fresh idea, and it's honestly stunning. Like I really like this first movie. The score is great. And I disagree with you, Kirby. See, I think you've got the wrong kid.
Wait.
Guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I fucking hate the daughter in these movies.
Okay.
You
So
do?
I
I,
cannot stand her.
You just
I-
hate
I-
a woman in power.
I know, because I
high
love Emily
intellect.
Blunt, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way the character's written. I don't think it's the way that the actress is
no,
portraying the
it's not.
character.
No,
I
it's
want to be
it's
very clear. I don't want any hate towards the actress. She's just doing what she's told to do, and she's a good actor. I just can't stand what she does in the movie. Like,
So
I genuinely
Like what do you
hate
mean?
what they
Like,
choose to do with the daughter.
explain.
Dylan, I'm kind of on your side with this as well. I'm not a big fan of the character either. It's just she's just whiny the entire.
No, it's not that she's whiny. It's just that
Mm.
she's not whiny. She's not whiny. She's fine. She's not whiny. But she is the reason that every character dies in this movie. You cannot tell me that the daughter isn't the reason that every single character in this movie dies. She gets her father killed by not understanding what is clearly presented in front of her. She doesn't understand the earpiece thing, even though it's clear that that is what's happening. Like, the alien gets close to her in the corn thing, and then her ear goes off again for the second time in the movie. She doesn't understand that.
She didn't know the alien was around.
In the first time she didn't, but she turned around and saw its marks, right?
Yeah,
No.
but that doesn't mean. That doesn't
No.
mean.
And then
I don't
when she's in the corn funnel thing.
She never knows that it was there. She's
No, you're wrong.
No, she's like
corn
facing
tunnel thing in the fucking hay. The corn,
the grain silo.
the silo. Yes, in the silo, the alien's right there. Her ear goes off. Does she just
Okay.
think that that's like a weird coincidence?
No,
It happens again
okay.
at the truck before the father dies.
No, that yes. I thought you were talking about when she's in the cornfield, when she has her back turned and it comes up behind her.
Yeah,
but like, wait, I thought that's
No, that one's fine. But there's 2 times before she realizes, oh my God, this is what's happening, where she clearly should understand what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And I don't know if that's
I don't
because
know.
she's deaf, but it's portrayed as if she can hear the frequency, right?
Yeah, I think she can.
Yeah, she can.
So-
That's why she like winces and like covers her ear.
I know. I'm like, she totally gets her father killed, but not putting 2 and 2 together.
I know, but it's easier to
It's
say.
way
It's
possible.
easier to say that when you're watching it happen. Like if you were there and there's aliens trying to kill you, I think she's just like, shit, what is this? What is happening to my ear right now? And she's like, okay, just take this annoyance away because I'm already dealing with a monster.
But she doesn't think to herself, oh, this only happens when this alien encounter is happening.
Maybe, but maybe she doesn't even know that it's like hurting it. I don't know. She just sees that they don't see the alien that often. I mean, it's just going crazy.
The frequency starts in the silo, and then the alien runs away.
Does it in the silent? Oh, when it runs out the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Still, I mean, she's literally suffocating and dying. She literally just lost oxygen for like 30 seconds, and then she's suffocating. Then she hears the alien run out after the high frequencies in her ear for 30 seconds. I don't think she's.
But it happens twice. It's not a coincidence. Like the alien's losing its shit, and then she turns off her earpiece again.
It's not a coincidence, and I'm on both y'all sides here. I think she should have figured it out faster, right? But also, I'm on Tanner's side to where, like, when shit's going down, you're not thinking logically. You're just thinking, all right, what do I do next? You're not thinking, hey, all right, hey, this thing, that bothers me, and I see it bothering them at the same time. Maybe there's a connection there, not 100% sure. But no, she's
yeah. Also, like the frequency. Sorry. The frequency is the only thing she can hear. She can't hear anything else.
Yeah.
So if the alien runs away, it's safe to assume that she thinks that somebody made a noise and that it ran away because she can't hear what's happening.
Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing, Kirby, is with both of your high pressure, high stakes, how would she figure it out? I would agree with you if the last scene where they're all about to die is in a high pressure situation where she figures it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the last scene where she figures it out is a high stakes situation. The beast is right there in front of her.
okay.
But
and she knows it's sound. So when she looks at the newspaper and is like, oh my God, it's sound, she's reminded, oh my God, it's sound? Like, she knew it was sound in the first place.
I
So
think
I'm
she's
like,
putting it together. She's repiecing the moments that just happened before this, and she's figuring it out, and that's why she does it. Like, what do you?
there's also like the
You wanted to figure it out, but if she figures it out, then you blame her too. Like, what?
This isn't my only problem with her. There's also like the kind of weird beef that she has with her dad because she blames
I think that's just
herself
like teenager like hormone
It's
angst.
angst.
Yeah.
But see, and then there's also the like, she gets her brother killed too. I don't care.
That's why she's
Thank
mad
you.
That's why she's
He
upset.
goes, her dad looks at her, or somebody looks at her and goes, "It's not your fault." And all I could think was, no, it actually is. Because the parents took the toy away, set it on the counter, and then she takes the toy and gives it back to her brother. And then he's like, okay, well, she gave it back to me, so I guess it's fine to own it because he's 4 years old. Like, it's not his fault that he doesn't understand basic survival skills. So she gives him back the toy, which is a direct violation of what her parents did. And then he dies because she gave him back the toy. Like, it's her fault. Every death in this movie is her fault. And
I don't think so.
Once we get into the second one, it was less of an issue for me, but she does some pretty frustrating stuff in the second one too, bro. Like, I really with her in the second one too. It wasn't as bad as this movie, but goddamn, like the second one really frustrated me too.
Do you enjoy any of the scenes that she's in, or do you just enjoy everything else that she's not in?
I like the scene where he says, "I've always loved you."
Well, that because he freaking dies.
But that's what I'm saying is, even though I like that scene, I think that scene's way less good because I really don't like her.
That hot take.
So like that scene would make me cry if I was attached to the daughter and I kind of understood her side of things. But because I don't understand her side of things or feel for her at all, I just maybe get teary-eyed.
I'm just confused, Dylan. Like, I'm just confused why you can't side with her, because her whole point of her character is that she knows that it was her fault, and that's why she is so upset, and she thinks that her dad thinks that she caused it, and in that moment she realizes that he never blamed her and never, like, how do you not side with that?
Here's my problem with that logic, Tanner, is that if it is her fault, like you said, and everybody knows that it's her fault, and that's the whole crux of the point of the movie.
Okay.
That's what you said.
Okay, well, yeah, sure. Okay.
You said it was her fault, and then everybody.
I would give you your time to speak, but I want to. Yes, okay.
Go ahead. Go finish what you had to say.
Just the way you said. I was talking in the sense of her character, and she thinks that everyone thinks it's her fault. I think all the people, like the entire family, thinks in some way that they were responsible for it, just like the mother does and the dad does at some point, and probably the brother, blah, blah, blah. But her character's motivation is what I was talking about. Like, she thinks that's why she acts the way she does, like a little off and a little kind of like rude.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. She's blaming herself.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing with it is everybody else in the movie is telling her it's not her fault. When I think in reality, they should be telling her, no, it was your fault, but that's okay.
But it's not.
Like,
But it's not her fault. I mean, like, what are her parents? Her parents are letting the youngest child walk that far back in the first place. They're not keeping an eye on him after they leave the store in the first place. The mother's not caring or looking after the boys, even though she has no shit in her hands, and that's why she even says that in the first place too. It's everybody's fault at some point.
But that's my problem is that they address that. Emily Blunt says she's like, oh shit, like, oh, I should have been carrying him. He wasn't that heavy. I just didn't I couldn't do it. I needed to carry her and I just didn't, right? But and then John's like he says don't, but he doesn't say that's not true. It's not your fault, right? The thing with it is every other character is treated like it's their fault in some way. But when it comes to the daughter, they act like, oh no, it's not her. It wasn't actually your fault. Like there's literally a line that tells her it wasn't her fault when she is directly responsible for what happened.
I don't think he's directly responsible for what happened.
In my opinion,
she made a mistake and everybody else made the same mistake. It's just that her mistake involved more of the physical thing that caused the accident, so it's more obvious to blame her.
I mean, yes, Emily Blunt made a mistake. I understand, and I get that that's the whole point of her character arc. But it's just, to me, it doesn't work. Their relationship. It was better this time that I watched it. The first time that I watched it, I couldn't stand her. But this time that I watched it, I thought it was better. I was handled better. Especially when Lee and the son are talking at the river. And he's like, when was the last time you told her you loved her, right? That was a scene that I didn't really pay much attention to the first time I saw it. But this time I grew to really appreciate what that was trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel that their relationship just doesn't work for me.
So, but also, I think when it comes to the daughter, I feel like she also feels it's more of her fault because the dad, like, and even the mother, they kind of just ignore her a little bit, and I think they put a little more emphasis on the other son too, because the other son's a little more volatile and a little more complaint. If anybody's whiny, Kirby, it's the fucking little kid, but we'll get to that later. But
Wait, which one? The son?
The boy,
Yeah,
the son?
Yeah.
Really?
How?
Okay, first of all, watch the second movie. Tell me he's not a little bitch. Watch the first movie. He's
Okay, we're gonna wait for the second one.
Okay, we're gonna wait. Hold on.
Yeah, wait on the second one.
Okay,
Wait on the second one.
Okay, hold on. So like you can see in the beginning with like certain scenes where like he doesn't let her come on the trip and she lets the boy come on the trip. Even when they're at the table like praying, you can see that the mother rubs the son's hand and John Krasinski rubs the son's hand, but nobody rubs the daughter's hand. Like no one's ever reassuring her, and no one's ever like. I feel like they do put a level of comfort on her.
Yeah.
Because she's also avoidant, but I think it's basically just like a parent-teen thing, especially.
That might be because well, she killed their youngest son.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been flaming the girl a lot, but I think if John Krasinski's 100-meter dash was a fucking 2 seconds faster, he could have got that kid, but he was too slow to catch his own son.
All right, so my thing on that is if he did make it there, he would have made sound picking up the kid, and that gigantic fucking alien would have gotten them both if he did get there in time.
I
No, he
know.
simply
That's
would've
what I was
folded him.
thinking.
He would've
I-
folded him.
Okay, guys, give me a second here. Olivia Roberts, my beautiful girlfriend, has one thing to say that she would like to say about the story, or at least just in general.
Bring her in, have
Olivia.
her tell it. Have her tell it.
She texting you?
Olive, what is the one thing that you would like to say?
Can I have the mic?
Yes, you can. Well, no, you can't touch it. Just talk to it.
I don't think it's right, Dylan, all the things that you have said about her.
Thank God.
Because, first of all, it's not her fault. She had no idea he was going to grab the batteries. It's literally his fault. I know he's a child, but, she's deaf. So how was she supposed to know, A, that it even made a sound to begin with, B, that he was going to pick up the batteries? That was so dumb on his part. Second of all, she feels guilty. She feels bad about it. You don't need to make her feel worse by hammering in oh, blah, 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 blah. It's all her fault. Plus, obviously, that's her character arc. Maybe she did something somewhat stupid, but then she also, literally basically saved humanity. So I don't think you have any room to talk about how, bad she is and whatnot. Because, honestly, she was doing a nice thing. And if you're going to look me straight in the face and say that you've never tried to do something nice and it backfired, you're a liar. So that's all.
Okay, babe. Well.
Yeah,
We'll
Dylan,
see
you're going to
how
want to cut that out of the video because you're going to look like a fool.
In the video.
It's almost like she regurgitated everything I said for the past 30 minutes.
You just got.
She's been texting me. She texted me. She goes, "I have something I have to say. I can't believe you're slanderous. I only have one thing to say. I need to say it."
You just got you got a lot of slander there, but how
just
much
well, first of all, okay, let's get off of the characters we don't like for a second. That opening scene is brilliant.
It's awesome.
I can't get enough of that. I was watching it again last night for the first time in 2 years, and I was watching this opening scene, and I was just thinking the sense of dread that is set when that kid gets run over by that alien is so crazy.
Amazing.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It just sets the tone for the movie so well.
And the title card, that's a really good title card too.
It's and the choice to, instead of just cutting when the kid gets hit and the camera lingers there for another 1 or 2 seconds, and you just watch
see John Krasinski reach out and
runs, he just kind of he's running, and you see it on his face, holy shit, my kid just got absolutely destroyed, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's brilliant, and then there's a bunch of scenes like that in the movie that are just spectacular, next level. The one where he's telling you, "I love you and I've always loved you," or the one where she's in the kid's room and she's just looking at all the baby stuff that they haven't touched or moved, and she's just crying there. And then, or the one where they're dancing, the one where, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it comes with the microphone, the little headset.
Hot take. I think they really should have used a different song. I did not think that was the appropriate dancing for that kind of song.
I'm not because I did not like that song when
no,
they started.
that song was like, they're slow dancing, but there was nothing to slow dance to for that song. It was like a very, from what I think, kind of like a peppy disco type feel, I think.
It wasn't disco, but it was a little more.
Okay, not disco, but like kind of like a funky thing, not like.
I think it was an interesting choice to use a song that's not very popular, because I think the reason it doesn't feel right is that I didn't know the song. Do you guys know the song?
No, but I mean, you can still use like a non-well-known song and it still work.
Because I felt like it worked for the tone of the movie, but I feel
like it made it a little more real, like a real song that maybe that even in real life that might be special to John and Emily. Oh, I just called them like that. My friends John Krasinski and Emily. Jay and E.
Oh yeah, John and Emily. Yeah, best buds of the family.
Mr. and Mrs. Krasinski. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. I can't wait to hear what Gabe's opinion is when he gets on the show.
We're not going to talk about anything. Sit there while we talk.
It's going to be over before he gets on.
So he said he's looking for his computer and stuff. He'll be here in a sec. But then they just do such a good job of, like, there's a sense of dread all throughout the film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with the nail, guys.
So,
I think you just know something's gonna happen. Yeah.
The thing I really like about the nail for what John Krasinski did for the idea of how to get a nail there, because in like 95 of all the other movies that have a nail coming up out of out of the stair, it's like straight up shiny, gleaming, like right in the middle of the step of where you would put your foot, and not where you would like nail something, right? And so I really liked how when Emily was going up the stairs with the bag of whatever, she like brought the nail up and bent it upward to where it was like in the way of getting stepped on. So I thought that was a really cool detail that they.
I agree with you all the way to the extent of the fact that there's no reason for that nail to be there. Like, if you look at the way the stairs are built, why is a nail there in the middle of the staircase?
I mean,
it must have been like a dumb kid or something was just playing with a nail gun and shot it up, and then the adult was like, well, I'm not going to pull it out. I'll just hammer it down.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then it was an interesting choice. I like the choice less and less to have her like rip her bag or like try and pull the bag instead of like go down and look at it. But I guess she's pregnant, so it's like she doesn't want to go all the way back down the stairs.
I find it odd that she didn't look back at what was holding her bag, and then she must have felt pressure pulling the nail up. Whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Movie, but it's a movie.
That's what I'm saying too.
The stuff like the nail is what makes these two movies like they're so fun, because I feel like John Krasinski was like in class or something. And he was like, what makes a good scene is high tension and high stakes, because it feels like every single scene out of both of these movies, they have an already tense situation, and they're like, what if we raised it by another 120% and then we just kept going? And there's like, that makes it just, even when there's a normal scene, I don't feel safe. Like I feel like something bad's going to happen no matter what.
So there is like a, what would you call it? Like Hollywood term or way that they make things like that. Like for example, when Quentin Tarantino was making Inglourious Bastards, like the opening scene where you have Hans, Fronda, I can't remember his name, coming into the house, and it's all calm, and take away the scene of it flashing to the people underneath the floorboard, right? You just have Nazis coming in, which, I mean, they're Nazis, you know why they're there, or it's bad when a Nazi walks in your house. Then you just have like a severely awkward acting farmer for some reason. Why is he so like tense? And then when you add that scene in of tension or something, it's almost like a time bomb, like a ticking time bomb. You know something's gonna happen. You don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And
yeah,
I love scenes when are like that, like with Tarantino and with the nail and scenes like this.
Also, this movie's so quickly paced. like I think it's 10 minutes. The nail they set up the nail scene, and then she steps on the nail. It's like 10 minutes of screen time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like interesting because they're able to set a level of dread there in such a short amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Because like you realize, holy shit, her water broke.
She can't scream.
She can't scream. So the monster's coming, essentially.
Yeah.
And then she steps on the nail. And
I will say Emily Blunt is one tough.
she acts.
She is one hell of an actress and just one tough gal.
What I'm saying is like she's first of all, the mom's incredibly tough, right?
Oh yeah.
And not only that, but you still feel that it's real because Emily Blunt does a fantastic job of like acting it out.
Oh yeah, the entire tears and everything, and just her body trembling, because I mean you can see her like tremble and shake, and the entire scene of when her water breaks and hits the nail, and then avoiding the monsters and not trying to scream or make any sound, because if she does, her and her about to be born baby is dead.
When she has to pull it off of her foot, dude, I can't stand that scene.
I remember the first time I saw this, I was thinking to myself, what if they made it go all the way through her foot and not just like halfway? I think that would have been a lot worse.
But she stepped completely on it, like.
Oh yeah, no, there was no air gap in between her foot and the board.
Is there anything that? Well, I know we talked a lot about what me and Kirby don't like, kind of. Tanner, is there anything that you would change about the movie? Anything that you have an issue with?
I don't know. I just feel like just weird little moments, like what I was saying, like when they just told the boy not to take the batteries or the spaceship, and they all four just walk out of the room, and nobody like cares to look at him or think that he might do something stupid like a little kid would do. Mm-hmm. Or like when like there's like a lantern on the floor and they're playing, and like they put the lantern next to their hand. I don't.
Or when Emily doesn't turn around when the nail gets caught in the bag.
Like just weird movie things. Like I feel like it's only happening. Like you have to kind of suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Yeah.
I was very curious when they were playing Monopoly, knocking the lamp over. What the hell was he reaching for?
I think him and his sister were fighting, right?
Well, no. It's like she or he landed on one of each other's spaces.
I think he was going to ship it.
Well, no, so he's laying here, she's laying here. He reaches around the opposite side, completely away from her, for something, and knocks over the lamp.
Maybe money.
It was for the
cards, the lamp cards.
I don't know. It was.
Gabe's not coming on, so scrap that.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, he says he can't find his laptop charger, but.
Yikes.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
You think he watched the movie? What if he just didn't watch the movie and he's scared?
He's been talking to me about it. He told me the other day, he goes, A Quiet Place Part 2 is God tier.
That's okay.
So we all like A Quiet Place Part 1, right? Let's go ahead and move into Part 2. Let's do it.
Yeah.
See, you know what? Let's start with your thoughts, Kirby. What do you think of Quiet Place Part 2? So
there was a couple of things that. Okay. There was a couple of things that threw me off from when I watched like the first trailer, and that's all I saw. And then watching the movie, I can't remember his name. The actor that was on the island and befriended Cillian Murphy.
Michael J. White.
The dude who's in every single Marvel and DC movie.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So I thought in the trailer, because you get Cillian Murphy's monologue saying, like, all the people that are left aren't worth saving, and then it like flashes to him, or you see them on the island and they're all running or whatever, and I thought the people on the island were like a cult or something that are like, they seem normal on the outside, but once you like get brought into their island or their trap, they like take you over, like cannibalize you or something. But what's
interesting to me is that they were so close to the people that do Like the people who are
Oh,
terrible
yeah.
don't ever think
Yeah.
to go over there and mess up the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of threw me for a loop. But the overall of the second one, it was good. It wasn't as good as the first one to me. But I will say I did like the daughter a little bit better in this one than the first one.
Oh, do you not like her in the first one? I thought you could.
No. I said no. I agreed with you mostly, but in this one, I think the reason why I like her a little bit better is because she goes out of her way and tries to do something right, but ultimately fails.
That's the exact reason I don't like her in this one.
Wait, hold on. Oh God.
Tanner, go ahead and spew your thoughts, and I'll tell you mine.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Actually, for 1 minute, I need y'all to tell me what happened in between the scene of them getting to the island and Cillian Murphy. They had this like long pan shot of him.
Please tell me you didn't use the restroom.
I went on a pee break, and I had a large Coke, and I was so mad because I did not have to go to the bathroom, and I was like, I started sipping my Coke, and I was like, I bet I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom after this. I immediately started feeling it, and so I ran out of the theater. I ran back, but it went from there's like this scene where they take like a long pan shot of Cillian Murphy, and then when I came back, it was right when he discovered that the alien was on the island. So I need y'all to explain to me how the alien got on the island. It was just the one that was swimming.
Okay, here's what happened: is the boat. Remember how one alien was on the boat at the docks?
Yes.
And it was like
it just kind of floated to the island. So there was only one alien there.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured that he'd been on the boat. I just wanted to know.
Because like Cillian Murphy walked down to the beach to relax or something or talk to someone. And then when that scene was over, you just start hearing like a slight thump or clunk or whatever. And he walks around a bend on the beach, and there's like a fallen bunker or beach there, and right on the other side of it was the boat, and so he just hightails it to the.
So he just realizes. I figured so.
Yeah.
God dang, she thought so well.
Wait, what are your opinions, Tanner?
On the movie as a whole, right?
Uh-huh.
I liked it. I liked it almost like the exact same reason and the exact same way that I liked the first one. I like that they're both an hour and a half, and he was just like, okay, I will tell you this, and then you can leave the theater. Like, it was just really quick, and it felt more like honestly, it felt more like a second episode in like a series.
That's exactly what John Krasinski said when he directed it. He said that, if you don't mind, said that when he was making this movie, he said he kind of understands the skepticism on sequels. So he never looked at it as a sequel. He looked at it as a continuation of the story from the first movie. So
Well,
he treated it like that. And I really feel that. And you're saying you feel that too?
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel that the same way because it's not a sequel. It's not
another story.
It's not another story in the same universe. It's still telling the same story, but just continuing it out. And like the other franchises to me that do that are like John Wick a little bit, right? Because it's not John Wick 2 the sequel. It's John Wick 2. It's the second part.
Picks up where it left off and then it finishes.
Yeah.
I just I thought it was really cool. And I also really like it felt a lot like I was saying, it felt like a TV show or like this, like a second episode or something. It really reminded me, like the whole tone of this reminds me of The Walking Dead, which I really like. They have this, like, it's not horror. It's more like suspense thriller with like human characters that you get to watch. Like, cause honestly, neither are scary. I watched the first one alone in my room today, and I watched the second one at the theaters, like by myself. And I really wasn't that scared.
It's more like a family drama. I mean, there's some suspense.
Yeah. I think it's just like The Walking Dead, where it's like small moments of horror, but mainly you're there to see the human reactions to
it. You're not there. You wouldn't call A Quiet Place a scary movie. You would call it a suspenseful movie.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're not going there for like jump scares or anything. You're going there because you want to see how they're gonna hopefully kill the aliens or whatever they are.
Yeah, it's a scary situation, not a scary movie.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have anything that you didn't like, Kirby?
Yes. So, all right.
The girl.
No, hold on. to get back to the point of we said, hold on, let's save it for the second one.
The girl.
No, not the girl. The son, the kid, the boy. So, are you saying he's whiny because he got his leg snapped in a fucking bear trap?
Oh my god, that scene was so hard to watch.
Are you saying
Didn't even hit the bone. Didn't even hit the bone.
Are you? Tanner, I know you're kidding.
My ligaments. Shut the fuck up.
All right,
Drink for maybe 2 seconds and shut up.
Tanner,
is that what you're talking about right now?
I will buy you a bear trap, and I want you to step in it and tell me you can walk in a straight, perfect line and run and be perfectly fine.
Bro, it was kind of frustrating when he was yelling.
I'm not worried about him.
It was a really good scene.
Yeah. I'm not worried about him running or
and
walking
his mom was
away.
like, please. It's so good.
So if I was Emily Blunt in that situation, I would have taken whatever piece of cloth or clothing I had and just shove it down his throat to get him to shut up.
Just knock him out.
No.
Where is she going to find a cloth, Kirby?
No, just like rip it off. Like rip off like a piece of her dress or something and just like shove it in his mouth to where he wasn't screaming anymore. Or if he was, it was a lot quieter than just out in an open, like, abandoned factory floor.
It was too late.
Screaming.
As soon as he screamed the first time, it was too late.
Yes, but, I mean, if he keeps screaming, it's like honing in on their position of, like, the monsters for the constant screaming, you know?
Did you guys notice how the monsters kind of got slower?
Yeah.
Because I feel like in the first one, when that kid gets eaten at the beginning...
Oh yeah, no.
Like they had way more time when the kid had his like. That might just be because they killed all the monsters that were nearby.
Maybe because. So at the beginning of this, Emily Blunt didn't kill 2 more on the farm, did she?
She did. I think she killed 4. I think she killed 5 in total. 4 that we didn't see.
No, I think she was 3 because remember that's
why I'm asking, because in the first one, like when it's painting over the board, it says 3 in area confirmed,
and 2 are running towards the house.
And at the like last 2 minutes of the first film, like after she kills the first one, it pans over like the TVs and stuff again, and the 2 and the 2 are hightailing it to the farm.
See, I
think she kills them.
They showed us. I guess those 2 that they showed us in the different camera were. The same 2. I was taking it as 2, and then 1.
No,
they were just moving fast, so they were on both cameras.
They showed us it in a different shot, like them dead.
They showed us running through the different cameras.
Okay.
He's saying because the cameras are set up throughout the farm, so as they progress, more cameras will pick them up.
Gotcha.
And I just thought it was. I thought it was.
No.
4 coming towards them.
But yeah, so she never killed them. So what happened to them? And.
I think at the beginning of the second movie, it was after she killed both of them, and then she went to go get her son.
Okay.
Also, guys, John
John
Krasinski with his beginnings of his films. I thought the beginning of this movie was excellent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing. When day 0 or 1 or whatever, and you see the asteroid, meteor, ship, whatever it was, crash down, and I really hope they explore that more in future Quiet Places.
I like how much they can like set up in just a small amount of time. Like there's so many questions unanswered still.
It's the perfect example of what a flashback should be in a movie.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna flashback, it has to be narratively important to what's happening in the story that is currently going on, right? Mm-hmm. So they flash back to day 1. They introduce you to the character that that they're going to meet.
Yeah,
they introduce you to how he knows the dive thing, which is a fantastic callback. When he says dive, I thought that I was like, why are we learning this? What is the need to learn this? But I thought it was a perfect way to do that.
Were you doubting John Krasinski?
Yes, I was, because I mean he's only directed one thing besides like a couple of Office episodes. You know what I'm saying? So like,
still, the one thing is a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, I know. I think it's damn near Oscar worthy. Like I genuinely feel that it's a masterpiece of a movie. But
did it win any Oscars or get nominated?
I don't
for
think
anything?
it got a single one. No.
Did it get nominated for anything?
I don't think it did. Maybe Best Sound, but even then, I don't think so.
Damn, it's all right.
I mean, it's a genre film, so it's not like, you know how they are.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he knows how to do intros in movies. He just does a fantastic job.
He does. He does. And
Did
the,
you, Tanner? Did you like the additions of the new characters? Did you like both of them, or all 50 of them, or whatever? I really. So what did you think about the new kind of? I mean, we knew that something like this was likely going to come and happen because it happens in every zombie story. But what did you think about like the syndicate of people who are kind of weird?
Like the people that are doing bad things.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what they were doing, and also I had that same problem you did. Was like, why don't they go to the island and mess with, like, I don't understand why they were singling out these people. Also, like, what were they going to do to kill him? Were they tied him around his neck? Were they going to drown him? Were they going to eat him? Were they going to?
No, they. So what they did? The little girl, when she was had her head down, the little girl, she had like a zip tie or like a noose or something. Yeah, and it was like connected to a big fishing net that had like bottles, cans, a lot of loud shit.
Yeah, so if he moved.
To where, and when she put it around his neck and zipped it and whatever.
But it was also attached to the dock, so if he jumped off, he would be getting choked. That's why when he jumped off, he was getting choked because he was attached to that post.
Pole.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know.
I think that they purposely left that question there as to like what is their motive, because I think they're going to probably, if they do a third one, they'll probably explore that.
I think the motive, just from my guessing and how they looked, was one of two or a combination, was that they were going to like the little girl and then eat her because
Jesus Christ, trigger warning.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Well, no,
I would personally.
No. I mean, they were bad people. You got to think bad, you know.
Kirby, I know I'm saying you can preface the people who are listening who aren't bad people. Like,
well, all right, you can go back and edit it. But no,
I'm just gonna edit in the words "trigger warning" right before yes. Speaking. Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, it was either and then eating her. But no, they were definitely gonna like cannibalize her. Just like the way their skin was, the way their eyes were. Those were some cannibals.
The way that he killed that dude was so satisfying.
Oh yeah. That like threw the thing around him, and
gets the thing around him, and then stabs him in the leg, and he goes ah.
Yeah, and then just jumps.
Yeah, it was great.
And he put the earpiece in his mouth. That was sick.
Oh, dude, that was so cool. I didn't even think about that. Like, I wasn't worried about how he was gonna get the.
Yeah. But also,
let's talk about this thing that really bothers me in this second one. Once again, the little girl. She's tolerable in this movie. She didn't bother me nearly as much as she did in the first one. But her whole plan to go and do the whole thing. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, I'm sorry.
Why?
It's a good plan. She's
the wrong person.
Yes, she is the wrong person.
She goes into this thinking, "Oh yeah, I can save them. I can do this. I can save us." Right?
You are literally the worst person to do this job.
Her heart's in the right place, but you're absolutely correct, Kirby. She is the worst person out of the group to go and do this. She is the biggest disadvantage in this film of not being able to hear, and it almost kills her. The only reason it doesn't kill her is because the dude is there to save her. Because and she wouldn't have made it at all because she's stupid and went alone had it not been for that guy. If she had told her mom, "Hey, Mom, I need you to go and do this. This seems like something that is going to happen." There's no way her mom's not going to listen to her. Her mom is clearly going to go and get the medicine first so she can help her son, right?
Yes, yeah.
But then she's going to go and do the thing, or they could have all gone together.
But I feel like she already feels guilty, and she literally just watched her. I bet Olivia's chewing in the fuck out.
Oh yeah, no, Olivia's chewing.
Hold on,
That's
Olivia.
exactly what's happening.
Olivia, tell us your hot take.
No.
Tell us your hot take.
Okay, Olivia, they want your hot take. Go ahead.
Okay, have any of you ever cared for an infant before? And if so, would you ever leave the infant for like 24 hours.
Not valid because she does.
That's it.
She
That's
does.
it.
She does leave.
She leaves for 4 hours and he's being watched, but she didn't leave for 24 hours. The girl literally said it's gonna be a day. It's gonna take me a day to get there.
To be fair, he's being watched by the little bitch boy.
The mom can't go. He's not gonna go. He's a little kid. The baby's not gonna go, and that old man didn't want to help them. So clearly she was going to do it. So, and just watch, because you're on the brink of like sounding very ableist, being like,
no, I'm not. I'm not against her for being deaf, but she does have the big
and misogynistic
of the film.
Oh.
The movie's about making sound.
Okay,
you're
Dylan.
such a
just
dick.
saying, nobody else realistically was willing or able to do it. She was the only one. So just chew on that. The mom couldn't do it. That's not a valid argument. The mom has an infant. Think about that for 2 seconds.
Also,
what are they
Dylan.
going to feed the baby? What would they feed the baby?
What? She could just fill
Oxygen.
How is she going to fill? Did you see a breast pump anywhere in the movie?
She can squirt it into a cup. Not a problem.
Just latch him on.
Okay, but Dylan, so she literally feels responsible for two of her family members dying, and then she has a chance to go save everyone. She's not going to ask all of her family members to come with her to the most dangerous place in the world. That's her reason.
She killed her family member by doing something her parents didn't want her to do, and then did something her parents wanted to do in the same movie, and almost got herself killed.
Hold on, Dylan. I just want to acknowledge you got the wrong people to do this show. You should have gotten Olivia on here to be a part
I
of
asked her if
this.
she wanted to join. She said she didn't want to come on.
I definitely think she should have now.
But that's Olivia's hot take, everyone, and I completely disagree. I still think that the little girl was so stupid.
I think that you're feel not as brave as a deaf girl, and it's triggering you.
How could you do this to me? I mean, no. Okay, listen. It was brave. I'll give her credit. It was a brave move, and she did want. Her heart was in the right place.
It was a stupid
I just think
move.
it was also incredibly stupid. You can be both. And that's why it was tolerable, is because it did work out for them. And she does save her brother and her mom in the end. And oh my God, guys, that scene where Emily Blunt gets caught in the leg.
Dude, Emily Blunt.
That was weird.
So she does do stuff in this movie, but she doesn't do a damn thing and gets fucking wrecked. Like, I feel so sorry for her.
Okay, listen. Like I said before, I have no disdain towards the girl at all. I think she's actually a really good actress. I think she does a good job.
It's just deaf people that you hate.
Not
the girls.
It's just
deaf men and women.
I just don't like what they're choosing to do with their character so far. It's just not for me.
So it is deaf people.
No, you're terrible. Stop. No, I just the choices that they've made so far, I just think she's kind of a bonehead character. But I think the actress is a wonderful actress. What I will say is the part where she thinks that he left her to just like out there to die, like took the speaker and left her.
Oh no, I thought that was him going after, going to do the thing
job for her.
Yeah, and then just left her there.
Well, because he looks around for the earpiece, or she looks around for the earpiece. So what I was thinking was, oh, he left her, like, and took the earpiece to go and like save himself.
That was to me. I think that was him. Just all right. You told me what to do, where to go. Now I'm gonna go do it, and just leave you here to where you don't die.
What have you got, Tanner?
I agree with Kirby. When I watched it, I thought my whole thought process was like, okay, well, he thinks it's too dangerous for her. He's going to do it himself and leave her there. But now I'm just realizing that that's like a whole arc in a sense for her, that in the first movie, her dad didn't trust her and didn't think she was capable enough to come with him and do it. But this guy does. And I think for a split second, she thought it happened again. But then he comes back and he's like, no, like, you're coming with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was kind of ignored by every other character, but this random guy is like, I think you can do it. I think you're capable of, like, this is your plan. Let's do it.
See, I saw it. I'm going to disagree with you guys. I saw it differently. I thought he took everything that she had and left. That's why she was looking around so much. She was like, where's my speaker? Where's my head setup stuff?
I don't know. I didn't think he was that bad of a guy. I think the story was kind of trying to make you think that for a second, but I think that's what I also like about these movies is that it's like you said, show don't tell. So we don't know exactly. Like, this is why it's good to talk about. Like, this is why it's so easily talked about.
They do a little less showing and telling in this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
guess.
But I think it still works narratively. I don't think it detracts any. I will say I think that this movie does have a little bit more pacing issues than the first one. And there was a part there in the middle where I kind of felt like this is a little slow. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys agree or disagree?
No.
I don't. At what specific point? Like when he got to the island, or like this, like when the humans are there, or like when the bad guys are there.
Not when he got to the island, because that was actually like new information. But the part where it was just kind of them like walking. You know what I'm saying? Kind of trying to get to the island. It felt like the part in like Last of Us where you're just walking. That makes sense.
What do you have to say about the movie?
Loud dog.
That's a very loud dog, Tanner.
This is not a quiet place.
Tanner, it's so good. Such a good joke from Tanner Pieper.
Get the hell out of here, Tanner. You can do better jokes than that.
But what would you say if you had a favorite part, Tanner? What do you think it would be?
Probably the dive part, just because of how cool it is. The part where he says dive. I like the music in there too. Just the moment is really cool.
Oh, the music in both of these movies, I forgot to mention, but the music is fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Before we get into Kirby's favorite part, how did you guys feel about the ending? Did you like this? Because it was kind of sudden for me.
What do you mean?
Like in the first one, it feels like she goes, cocks the gun, and you kind of like know what's going to happen. In this one, it just kind of ends, and it doesn't really feel like as much of a resolution, in my opinion.
I thought it was weird that it ended in like the same way, like this, almost the exact same thing. Like,
well, no, the trouble's over at the end of this, right? Like they kill at the end of this one, they both kill the aliens or monsters. At the beginning of the first one, she killed one. Then there's two more on the way.
Yeah, but I
love the way the boy kills the other monster, where it's not like he doesn't shoot the gun; it just dies of like hearing.
He shot the gun.
He does. He shoots the gunshot happen. The gunshot happens when she does her thing.
Yeah. So how it was edited, right? It's she grabs the conduit pipe, right?
Yeah.
And when she hits it in the head,
you can hear.
As soon as she hits it, you hear not a faint, but you hear a gunshot or a distinct sound that's a gunshot. Then it flashes to him, and the thing falls over. And if you look at the head of it. And if you look at the head of it, it's blown apart a little bit from the gun.
Oh, I missed that. See, I didn't hear the gunshot. I just thought that he died from the sound.
No,
just a cool little editing. They were like, this is gonna be great, and now people like Dylan
are dumbasses.
I think I'm in the minority. I think I'm probably in the minority. Both of you guys caught it. What's your favorite part of A Quiet Place Part 2?
Hell, what was the part? My favorite part.
Question must have caught you so off guard. It's not like it's sent you a form that prepared you for it.
No, like I don't know if I have a favorite part in this one, just because there's no. I don't know. In my opinion, there's no standout piece or set of actions in this movie that stand out to me. But I think my favorite character is just because it's him is Cillian Murphy.
Really?
Yeah, no, dude, I'm a big fan of Cillian Murphy. I don't think there's a single bad thing he's been in.
Interesting. See, I think Emily Blunt is my favorite part of kind of both of these movies.
Okay.
I think she outperforms. I mean, I think she has like Oscar-worthy performances in both of these movies. But my favorite scene, I think I'm going to have to say, is the scene where his leg gets caught in the bear trap.
Oh, and he's just screaming. And
guys, that was so hard to watch. Like, I don't know what it was. So hard to watch.
You just reminded me of a problem that I completely forgot out of all this time. But during that scene, when they're running through after she triggers the trap at the beginning, and they're running through the field or whatever, and you see down you see on the inside barrel of Cillian Murphy's rifle, and you see it like aiming on them, and then it flashes to like his finger going on the trigger and about to pull it. Like I'm kind of curious. I think there's something else with this character that's still there that made him think it would be good if I killed these people right now.
Also, the weird body in the top of his room.
That was his wife.
Yeah, I know that was his wife, but it must have just been too hard to bury her.
I guess.
Too hard to bury her.
I feel like I have to bring it up again because this feels like I've already said, but it feels. Have you all watched The Walking Dead? Right.
Some of it.
I've watched like the first 7 seasons. I gave up after you know who dies.
Yeah.
Don't spoil.
Whatever. Yeah. But there's so many scenes in this movie where it feels like that. Like my favorite scene is the dive scene. Feels like that was something straight out of like The Walking Dead with like the music build up and like just all these people and then something bad. Like I don't know. And like that part where he finds like the wife or whatever. I feel like that was so. Because I think about the guy from the beginning.
Where he grabs her and then pulls her. That scared Olivia. Also, I think the jump scare. There was a jump scare in this movie that actually got me. In the first one, there was no jump scare.
Which one was it? The one where he grabs her in the building?
I can't remember which one it was, but there was
that was in the trailer
in this movie that really got me.
I didn't feel like that in the second one at all. Like I don't think there was ever a jump scare that wasn't in the trailer.
Well, it was something that wasn't in the trailer, that's for sure. But it really caught me off guard. God, I'm trying to remember what it was. I really liked that. I did like this one less. I did, just because, like I mentioned, the pacing felt a little off. It felt a little quicker. It felt a little quicker in the first movie. Like it felt like everything was happening so fast, and like you were experiencing it at the same time as them.
Yeah, well, it's because in the first one, it was never like a moment where there's a skip in time. Besides like the first scene, besides the title credit, but in the second one, there's moments where
like the walking and stuff, and it just kind of felt a little slower.
Yeah.
To me, what do you guys think about potential sequels? You think?
Oh, yes, hands down, there are going to be more.
You think John will come back to direct?
Oh yeah, no, I think that to me these are his babies, right? Like he's written and directed both of these, but it had help writing, of course. But like these are his movies. I don't think he's going to let anybody else direct them but him, unless some sort of thing happens that I don't know.
Maybe Emily Blunt will direct it.
Do you think that? How about this? Do you think that he'll be in one scene again?
Maybe.
I like it. I like that he didn't stroke his own pee-pee.
I know. He was in one. I thought, because when they showed us in the trailers that he was going to be in it, I was like, okay, so he'll be in multiple flashback scenes. But he was only in one scene right at the beginning. And it was like, that's what I'm saying. They delivered that perfectly. It was just what we needed and nothing.
My theory with it is when they are going to make more. There's no way that they can't.
No doubt. It made $74 million overseas and domestically this weekend.
Jesus Christ. How much did it cost to make?
Cost $65 to make.
Oh yeah, they're making sequels.
So it needs to be tripled. It needs to make about like 180 million to make profit, but it's gonna do that. Like let's.
It's gonna do that. But my theory for sequels, or at least in this next one, is we got a flashback in this one on day 1 or 0 or whatever it was of the very beginning of it, and I think for the sequels we're gonna get more flashbacks, but right after that, right? To where we get more of the world ending and what these things are and people trying to kill them, but they can't, and like governments falling and civilization crumbling. I think we'll get more of that, hopefully, in flashbacks in future Quiet Places.
Oh, I really liked, while we're talking about potential sequels, I know this is a bit of a backstep, but that dude, when he was like, I have to go back and save my family, and then he just gets grabbed underneath the garbage.
Oh, God,
yeah. That was so sad. I was like, come on, he just showed up.
Yeah, he left his little boy and whatever random kid that was in the closet.
Do you think? No, yeah. See, they left little Easter eggs in the second one.
Yeah. So they're gonna carry him over in the third one. Like
he's still there. You know, him and Emily Blunt both have. I mean, that hit her artery. There's no way it didn't hit her artery in her leg.
Oh yeah. No, she's pretty fucked up. She's gonna survive. I'm curious how she's gonna survive.
The kids are in the closet still.
Yeah, and like
that whole civilization, there was only one monster, and they led it away from the town.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see.
No, they killed
that dude alone comes back to that town, and not the like leader guy. That's not gonna go over well at all.
They killed it in the radio room.
That's what I'm saying, though. The dude who was with the daughter.
Oh, gotcha.
Is going to be the only guy coming back, and it's going to be technically their fault that the monster got there.
They don't know that.
They can put 2 and 2 together. A boat shows up from them, and then a boat shows up with the monster on it. Like, it's not going to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
So,
they are going to answer different things, and one that I expect that I want them to is the body that his wife, explaining why it's still there or whatever.
yeah. What about you, Tanner? Do you think you for sure want a sequel?
I do. I hope I like how short they are because he does so much to set, like just like you said, Kirby, the earlier thing, like when the meteor was coming down, is like it's like was that like human technology falling in the sky? Was it the aliens coming to the Earth? Like what is going on? Like there's so many open ends, and it feels like it has the content of like a TV show, so they could make 20 of these things.
Also, it's crazy. It's crazy because we didn't really. I mean, we kind of speculated that it was probably aliens in the first one, but now it's like 100% confirmed. And now these are like alien movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird to think about it that way, but
it's like a
alien movies.
To me, I get like a Cloverfield type vibe with these. You know,
like in the first movie, there was speculation as to like they might have just come from like underneath
different dimension.
Not different dimension because that seems a little far fetched, but like underneath the Earth. I mean, I guess aliens coming down is pretty far fetched.
Yeah,
but like there was a lot of like, oh my god, maybe they came from like an underground crevice or something. But it was interesting to see that like different sectors like got different groups of aliens.
What do you mean?
Like, so they said that the first one landed in Hong Kong, and then we saw, because on the TV it was like one lands in Hong Kong, China, right?
Okay.
Because they were like a bomb hit in China.
Yeah.
And then it phased towards the Americas, and we saw that one was crashing in America too. Because they're in New York.
Yeah. Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know where they were.
They're in like small town New York.
Okay.
At least I think they are.
So do you think, now that we know that it's aliens, 90% sure, do you think like this was a planned invasion from like their species to take over the world, or do you think this was just a random set of meteors that had these folks on it, and they're just there on Earth now?
See, it's interesting because they don't really seem intelligent enough to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but what kind of alien has no eyes but can hear miles off a cricket chirping and go and kill it?
It's interesting that they would be aliens. So, like, I think it might just be a meteor type thing because they don't seem smart enough to have their own like ships and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I mean, yeah, like I definitely think there's going to be a sequel. Tanner, do you think that it's going to be like one sequel and then it's just going to be like the Quiet Place trilogy? Or do you think it's going to be like, no, this is a full-fledged franchise. We're going to do like 10 movies.
I really don't know. I think the first two movies were too short for it to be just a trilogy. Unless the third one is like super long. But I see this movie having like 4 or 5 parts maybe. Just because the movies are so short that there's so much they need to tell.
Interesting. See, I kind of want it to be a trilogy and it just be called like A Quiet Place. And it's just, boom, trilogy of movies.
I don't know.
It's like one story. Because if we go 1, 2, and 3 and you watch them all back to back, they're only an hour and a half each, but that's like a 3-hour movie, 4-hour movie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just one story.
Like A Quiet Place. Yeah, you know, that seems.
I think they could do that, or they could make it into a franchise almost, right? Like, so A Quiet Place is like the main brick of it all, right? And then you have like a couple other movies coming off over here explaining a different part of the world and situation over here of like a government falling, or to explain more detail on the aliens, how they crashed, why they're here type thing. And then you could have like a TV show or something branch off over here and kind of like what Tanner was saying, Walking Dead-ish type, you know? And
yeah.
And I can see him go all out with this, or just localize it to movies coming out.
Do you guys have anything else to add?
I would like to add one thing. I have an outside source telling me that Emily Blunt said that it was one of the hardest scenes she had to film when her son was stuck in a bear trap, because she has specific problems with children's in peril.
Wait,
John Krasinski wrote that scene on purpose because he knew that it would bother her.
So,
what a terrible husband.
Wait, is
he's
that
almost
actually...
as bad as he is in the movies.
God. Oh, hot take. But is that Emily Blunt's kid? Like, actual kid? Or is
no,
that...
what?
Oh, okay. No, well, the way Tanner said it, the way Tanner said it sounded like
God.
the way he phrased it made it sound like, oh yeah, no, it was Emily Blunt's kid, like her actual kid in real life just happened to be her son in the movie.
Oh my Lord. Okay. Well, Kirby, I wanted to show Gabe that you learned how to sign off, but I guess we'll just have to deal with you just signing off regular again. Where can people find you on social media, Kirby?
Just look up Curbs McGurbs and you'll find it.
On Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
Isn't that great character progression, Tanner? Tanner, where can people find you on social media?
Listen, it's gonna get worse again real soon. I've got an entire story planned with this. Okay,
Lord have mercy.
Just you wait.
I'm gonna take you off the show. Tanner, where can people find you on social media?
Just the name Tanner Pieper. That's the one.
All right. And you can find my girlfriend Olivia Roberts on Instagram at Olivia Roberts with a Z.
The special guest of the show.
Yeah, the hot take girl of the show.
Yeah.
And that's going to conclude our show. If you guys enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Add me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews. We're all appreciative of you listening, of course, and hope to have you back next time when we talk about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.